What if you could slide into 1,000 different worlds where it's the same year and you're the same person, but everything else is different? And what if you can't find your way home? Well, Robert Jeffries and I found the gateway. Now the problem is finding a way back home. This is Stumbling Through the Multiverse, a Sliders recap with Rain Coleman and Robert Jeffries II. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the show that has gone through a lot of cycles. This show, Sliders, it got something for everybody, and that could be derogatory, that could be complimentary. But this day, we're going over season 4, episodes 9 and 10. I am your co-host, Rain Coleman, the Carefree Black Nerd. Happy to be back again, sliding for the week, whatever. I don't know, man. What's going on, Robert? How are you?
Doing all right. Happy to be here per usual, and happy to have these two episodes paired up.
Yeah,
because one of them was one that I was. This is one of these episodes are one of the ones that I've been interested to get your feedback on.
Okay.
And that's I'll just go ahead and say it, it's the episode 10. But not saying like that one kind of more important than
right.
In terms of I got Rain needs to see this. So
yeah.
But yeah, happy to be here. We're at the halfway point for season 4, and we're chugging along.
Yeah, man, we sure are. I'll say this was an interesting pair of episodes. I'll say that. The first one being episode 9, Slidecage. The sliders land on an alternate Earth that has no life, a toxic atmosphere, 2 moons, and a labyrinth filled with Kromaggs. Now, this one was interesting because I didn't realize until afterwards it was directed by Jerry O'Connell. Which I was like, okay, I can give Jerry O'Connell his flowers, but not Quinn. I can't do it. I can't do it. But yeah, man, interesting double feature for this episode. I'll say that.
Yeah. I will say, since we switched over to the 2 episodes, 2 episode breakdowns per podcast episode, sometimes we get interesting pairings, like this. And I will. So let me ask you initial thoughts as far as about this one.
I was pissed off, but it wasn't my normal the show. I was pissed off because of the consequences within the episode. And so this, though I was annoyed, I think I really enjoyed this episode. And I don't know. I have to kind of talk through it more as we go through the episode, but as many critiques as I might have about this episode, I thought it was a really good one. Mainly because I feel like if this episode had have been 2 hours long, it would have been better, but you don't have 2 hours. This is the 90s, and this is a sci-fi show with 40 minutes worth of screen time. But I thought this episode really would have been better executed with more time. And so me being pissed off is not my normal, I'm mad at the show. It was like, damn, they're doing some interesting things. And I'm not even saying, oh, this should have been a 2-parter. No, this should have just been a long ass episode. But I did enjoy some shit. I'm critiquing, but overall I enjoyed it. I'll say that.
Yeah. So as far as my initial thoughts, I'm kind of running along with you or piggybacking. I enjoyed this one. I do think, like you said, an additional 15 minutes would have helped to make it better. But I think one plot point or one thing that happens in the episode, if it had been done differently,
Yep.
then I think that this would have been like a 9 or a 10. I'll say that. So yeah, so the biggest, and we can start with that.
Okay.
Because I think we're on the same page with a story element that happens. So the big gist of this, like we said was said in the summary, is that the sliders slide to a world where Quinn's parents, along with I'm assuming like the human resistance fighters, they've created this area, this building with 73 levels and 2,200 tunnels called the Slidecage. And what it was meant to do was trap the Kromaggs and prevent them from getting to the home world. Unfortunately, if there were any humans that from the home world who were fighting, and it sounds like this thing was like this war was being fought on multiple worlds, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like, but if humans who were from the Quinn's original home world or his home world got trapped there, then apparently they were supposedly provided with supplies. Basically, they were going to have to live there for the rest of their lives. So one of the things so the sliders get there and they're trapped. But one of the things that happens is that now you have opposing sides, the humans and the Kromaggs. And when Remy is captured by the Kromaggs, we learn that from the lead Kromagg, and I think his name is, let me make sure I get this dude's 𝚂𝚘, because everybody's name has to start with a K. He uses his mind ability, his kind of mind reading abilities to discover that, like, as suggested by Rain's name, that Remy has been he's been programmed to kill Quinn. Specifically, if Quinn tries to fix or do something with the Slidecage. Okay, so my biggest issue with this was, actually, you want to go first? Because
hey, either way, okay. I got my anger.
Okay, so so the frustration with me is that I didn't necessarily mind the brainwashing, right? Because it's been established that the Kromaggs can do things with your brain, right? They have telekinetic, telepathy, whatever. Shout out to X-Men 97. So, but I wish that order had just been general. I wish that it hadn't been specified for this episode, because I don't think that I would have. I could have accepted that at some point in time, when Remy had been captured, that they had implanted this idea in his mind, because they know about the sliders. But when they specifically said it was about the Slidecage, that's where I was just like, this isn't working as well for me anymore. So I don't know. What were your thoughts about Remy being the silent killer?
That was my issue as well. And I think overall, like, again, much like you, I can accept that was the brainwashing given. But when I think about the timeline, my issue is y'all didn't know that Quinn was coming back. You sent Wade off to like sexually abused world. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you kept Remy here, and this feels like a retcon for the episode. And again, I'm okay with it. But I felt like if you were going to use that, I think that's smart anyways, because he was gone. We don't know what was going on. But there's been so many other instances where that would have, like, my mind is, because you did this so long ago, you didn't know Quinn was coming back. But then also, once we have all of them together, if the direction was kill him after you make it to your home world, that's different. Because it's like, okay, you're an undercover agent. But this thing is weird to me, because in my mind, I was like, why? How do the Kromaggs even know that they end up in Slidecage? Because it feels like you end up there by accident as a trap, because you got the coordinates for the homeworld. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, Also, Remy was very gay in this episode. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay.
That motherfucker was gay. So, hey, maybe it was like homosexuality makes you crazy. I don't know. This was crazy.
It was weird because this is a show that, well, it's not even weird because it's kind of like the norm at this point, you know, where you don't establish, like, you don't lay the breadcrumbs for something that's coming later on. You just put that in the episode and people like, wait, what? You know, like even the big reveal about his parents, right? We never had any suggestion that, aside from knowing that other people slide, that his parents were in a multiversal war, you know, with so this is something that I think could have been bigger, and it just didn't play out, you know, the way that I felt that it could, or at least I think we both feel that way. Remy specifically, since we were talking about him, this is the second instance of them pairing him up with another kid, which I feel kind of relays this whole like father figure or like kind of protector. They're trying. They did it with Malcolm, and now they did it with I don't want to call. What was his name? Jules. Okay. And I think a big part of the episode kind of focuses on him. I didn't like them hanging him by those chains, which is crazy. But I think it's still just par for the course of, like, Remy has been the one that has had the most experience with the Kromaggs, so let's like have him central to that. What were your thoughts about, as far, you know, with him?
I didn't like it. I can accept it because it's the show. Once he said change, I was like, okay, writers, like, this is odd. This is odd to me. I can accept that the Kromaggs are like some other species, so they didn't develop with the same like biases that we have, because they all seem to be like variations of the same white man from eons ago. But I was like, come on, writers, change. What are we doing? Didn't we just deal with that with homeboy from the Jolly No Vaccine World or whatever? I don't know.
Don't say yes, or just say yes. Yeah, just say yes.
I guess I was okay. Remy's story is one of the instances where I was like, this episode should have been a little longer. I kind of guessed the twist with Jules initially, just because looking at his chin, I was like, yeah, this motherfucker is normal. On the one hand, I felt like that Aladdin scene with him and Jafar in the prison, getting ready to go to the Cave of Wonders. But then on the other hand, I was like, this feels very gay. And it's not, I understand that there's an age gap, so I'm not saying like Remy's going after this kid. But it gave me, you know, there's subtext in a lot of storytelling where, like, case in point, Kitty Pryde and Iyanla. Magic Hell. Yes, I could never say her name. How there was that subtext of like, oh, there's this queer thing going on with them, even though it wasn't explicitly stated in the text. And that's what I read from this. I was like, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm actively pursuing this person. But what happened when I watched this is something that I do when I watch women on screen, and I'm like, oh, she's an asshole, or oh, fuck her, and this, that, and the third. I think if the very thing that's making me feel that way about her, if there was a man in that role who did that, would I have that same reaction? And that's how I'm like, I have to check myself when I'm watching shows. With this episode, if Jules was a woman, I don't think anything about this episode changes. If it seems like literally down to maybe changing pronouns. That's quite literally it. But the script, as far as Remy is concerned, I was like, I don't know, man. This feels a little, and that could be me projecting, but of course this is art. But I was like, oh, this feels very borderline, and I think I bring a lot of baggage with me when watching this, and I'm about to get maybe a little deeper than this show needs. But even when you look at like romance and sex, when I mean sex, not just like the physical act, but just in general, romance and sex politics, when it comes to Black men who are queer on camera, they're always in an interracial relationship. And so even though this may be a bit of a stretch, the way in which Remy is engaging with Jules and even Colin, and then having the history of him with Wade, where it's like, oh, now all of a sudden I like you, girl, and it's like, oh, we can't go that far, but you can have her kiss and lust after Quinn forever. There's something in there that when it comes to Black gay men on screen, I'm not by any means saying Remy is gay, but the imagery of a Black man who's gay on screen is always with an interracial partner. You can even look at Candyman, that character, the brother or whoever the hell that man was. And there's so few instances that a lot of the things that made me initially be like, oh, this is kind of queer, could be a combination of that. There's something that I maybe don't have all of the language for at this time, but I was like, he's teaching Colin how to be cool and Black, and then you're Julie, oh, you're so beautiful, this, then, and it's like there's this thing. And then when we get to the next episode, which is like the complete opposite, I'm still feeling like, why can't this man get it right via the writers? Or I don't know, but
and they keep pairing him up. So like looking at it from that perspective, that's like, because I'm thinking about like his interactions with Jules, and I can I see some of it that there. The other thing though, aside from like looking at it from that perspective, looking at it from the perspective of like another father figure and a kid who has lost his parents, you have another instance of him being paired with a beast-like person. So in the case of like, I excuse my language, that shitty ass Dr. Moreau episode where they paired him up with the Catwoman. In this case, before he takes off the mask, it's like a Phantom of the Opera type of thing. Yeah. So it's just like, I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be vapid or whatever, but like, why can't Remy get like an attractive like somebody? Like to just be with, right, and not have. And so the discussion that we're going to have about the second one, that I'm going to be interested in hearing what you feel about that. But this is another instance of like, we've been here before with him, and we can't seem to give him just like a episode full on with somebody he can just kind of be in love with. He can just kind of spend some time with, and not have it fall into one of these like categories. So with him, it's funny because like he's kind of central to this episode, and then the second one. So I guess like when Cleavant Derricks got to the set for both of these, they were like, "Hey, we got you. You're front and center." The other thing that I thought was really fucked up at the end was like he said, "I'm gonna come back for you," and that's the second time he has told a child. Or like that's somebody that he's coming back, and you don't have any guarantee that this is going to happen.
That was crazy to me. I was like, you didn't have to say that.
Stop promising. Just stop promising. So Maggie, and we're going to, with the other sliders, give your thoughts about her, because there was something that happens with her where I was just like, okay.
I was kind of scared for her, to be honest, initially. Yeah. Well, one, from the very beginning, why are we sliding with a tube top that comes right underneath your breast? I was like, girl, what the fuck? Have we not been sliding enough to know that you might go somewhere where it's knives world, where everything is knives? Like, what are we doing? This show is bonkers. But as it pertains to her, I really felt bad for her initially. I mean, I knew nothing would happen to them, but with her and the Thomas character, that felt, I think maybe I wasn't understanding the mechanics of this world as quickly as I maybe should have, because my assumption was they thought that they kind of killed her. I assumed because she doesn't have the same world physiology that they do, that she was going to live anyways. But when we got the Thomas character, I was a little thrown off, because I was like, again, my understanding is inside these walls, everybody's fine, Kromaggs and humans. But outside of it, you die. And Thomas is just in the outside space with her, where they sent her thinking that she was going to die. So that may have kind of colored the way I saw parts of her in this episode. But I truly was like, what's that Whoopi Goldberg, Molly, you in danger, girl? Because I was like, what this man. I think what had me more concerned is that there's a level of danger that the Sliders are going to be in every episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's already understood.
Yeah.
And now we got the Kromaggs and we got brainwashing, etc. But they're knowing this is a TV show and it's a show from the 90s. There are certain things that I like don't expect. Like, as much as we can talk bad about how weird this show can be sometimes, I highly doubt we're going to get the Klan in one of these worlds. I doubt that. That being said, because you've already established that Wade is off on this world being assaulted constantly, that's what had me very concerned with this episode. I didn't expect them to show anything on screen, but the positioning of this man, like kind of creepily lusting at or looking at her, and the position, like a lot of it just made me uncomfortable. And plus the way she was dressed, not to say the way you dress means that you're going to get assaulted, but just the position of that in every, it felt gross in a way that I probably maybe still don't have all the words for, but it was, I don't know. I did not like this. I did not like this at all.
They, the guy, Thomas even says it. He was like, you ever watch that show called Beauty and the Beast? That's kind of what this is, right?
Oh,
and
okay.
That's kind of the vibe that I got, because he is seen as like, well, if he's not the Beast, he's like the nerdy, socially inept. Actually, not even socially inept. What we find out is that he was dealing with his own form of PTSD. But and it's this whole thing of like, let's stay. But that initial meeting with him and her, there's this kind of weird kind of creepiness, which kind of they get away from that, and you kind of see how sad his life is, because he starts off saying like, you look like a bet, and he's Betty Page type, that type of thing. And I'm like, damn, this show is old. But then we kind of see whatever trauma he's kind of dealt with. But I think specifically when he says Beauty and the Beast, because he's mentioning, like, you ever watch that TV show where the Beast was living behind the walls and he was in the sewers and all of that. The other thing that was worrying about Maggie for me was, there's a line that Thomas says where he talks about he basically suggests that things get very bad. Things get very, very bad, right? And so because this is let's say PG, whatever rating, because we didn't have a rating system back in the day, there's only so much that they're going to show. Like, if we got this episode on HBO, the streaming networks, then it would have been like very bad, right? So when he says that, and he specifically says with her, some shit has gone down that he is seeing, right? And so, and it's not even like, generally speaking, like, oh, there's these some rough hallways to live on. Like, no, I don't need you going out, because you are you, and it's that. And I think that it's this implied thing of like, because she is a woman, things can get bad. And it's like bad. And he doesn't even specify if it's the Kormaggs or the humans, because in his eyes, I think they're all one and the same, because everybody has just kind of lost their ish. So that was after that initial concern of like this weird guy, like if she did go out the front door of his hidden chamber, what would happen. The thing also that I thought was kind of strange was she was flipping the hell out when they first hit the slide cage. When it wasn't, I think they might have been leaning into her hot-headedness, but she was she seemed to be the one that was mostly concerned about their situation in the slide cage. And it was just weird, because like, once again, this is not a place that we have talked about, before, right? So I don't know. I didn't realize. I didn't wonder. I was wondering kind of why they decided to like make her like very overly concerned, because I thought like she would have been like the military type, right? Like, okay, let's get a plan of action. Let's find a way to get out of here. But she was just like, no, why are we? And I was like, it was just weird. And then we got the Mallory brothers.
The Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah, so let's talk about Colin right quick. Why does Colin look off sometimes? Like,
he's goofy as fuck. I'm
like,
so tired.
When they were in the room with all the, the broken the broken equipment and technology, like he was picking up stuff like that type of thing. It was just like it was weird. I will. The only grace that I give is that he is completely new to this. And the reason, the thing that I think they did a good job of showing with him was how he is more aware of how dangerous this shit is.
Oh yeah.
Versus the other sliders, because I don't know that there's been, when was the last episode that we had one of the members of the team talk about death the way that Colin did in this episode?
I mean, Remy mentioned
right.
the professor in the next episode, but that's about it. Like that's it.
I mean, it wasn't no like Colin was just like, when the influenza took my adopted parents. I was like, shit. So I kind of think that they do have him acting goofy in some respect, but then outside of that, he actually seems to be the slider that has the most street smarts. Who is
honestly, I agree. I think a lot of the complaints that I've had about them not being aware enough after 4 years of this shit, he has that. Where it's like, okay, are sharks supposed to be walking? Do walls supposed to bleed? Like he, to me, he is the audience surrogate. Like that is the kid. Like I can talk shit about him, but I truly don't have an issue with Colin. He's dumb, quote unquote, but that's only for the literal definition of like he doesn't know anything. So
So let's go to your favorite person then. I'll let you take the lead on Quinn as far as
Quinn. Why you always look at me like I ain't got the answers? Because you're the reason we in this mess, dummy. I cannot stand Quinn. He pisses me off. And it really pisses me off because I can say what I want about Quinn, but I do, even though the show does this to him, every episode he finds a way to make some shit work. And so in my mind, okay, I don't like you, but I know that you're resourceful. I know that Maggie has military background. I know that Colin is innocent, but also very science-minded. So where Quinn may be looking at the bigger picture, Colin probably can get to the smaller, more immediate. So I know these things about you all. So I know that Quinn has the capacity to get shit done. And when he says shit like that, it really pisses me off because like you're the reason we're here. You can't be the victim and the leader all the time. You can't do that. You are either the leader or you're not. When we had the professor to talk shit with and talk science with you, that was great. We don't have him anymore. We had Wade to kind of light a fire under your ass every now and then, but you can't go all of these years doing all of this shit. In one episode, it's like, oh, we're such a family, we're great. And then the next episode is, oh, I know my world is spiraling out of control. You are that's like me, grown man, taking 3 middle schoolers, and we get into a car and I'm driving, and they're like, why we been driving for 4 hours? We're not at the McDonald's yet. It's not my fault. What am I doing here? You're the adult. You're powering the car that they don't know how to power. That's why he pisses me off when he does shit like this, because the show wants you to root for him. He's everyman. He's attractive. He's smart. He does all these things. And then it's like, oh, but what was him? I can buy that he's stressed and frustrated, but it's never consistent. He hasn't mourned Wade. He hasn't mourned the professor. He hasn't mourned anything. That girlfriend from that one episode that magically she was the love of his life. Absolutely nothing. And so first of all, fuck him. Then is the show pissing me off because you're always like, oh, I gotta save these people. Oh, you can't do this. I'm Quinn Mallory. It's like, girl, shut up. The show is working overtime to try to make him be the person everybody wants to be or everybody wants to sleep with, and that's not fucking necessary. If they took all of those traits and aspects of him and spread it across the 4 of these people, the show would be much better. I'm okay with Quinn being stressed, but you're never staying in that space. It's always, oh, look at that pretty girl he's running after. You ain't got to try to fuck everything every time we go to a new world. For a motherfucker that's science-minded, that don't even make sense because our biology may be different on this next world. Why am I kissing and hugging up on anybody? Well, I might catch a disease, and not even like STD, and this is not slut shaming. It's just, I might catch something. Wade had COVID decades before COVID was a thing. Like, so Quinn has pissed me off at every turn. Yeah. And if the show allowed him to be weak and fuck up, and then the other three kind of pick up, like, I'm okay with him being stressed if the other three could rise to the occasion, but the show is so centered on Quinn Ross and the Supremes that we don't get that. So all of the bitching that he was doing after getting gassed and knocked down, I don't give a fuck about nothing. Leave that motherfucker. We got a Mallory who can figure this shit out. Leave him. Also, why the fuck don't Colin know how to work this damn remote control? We're brothers. Why did he should be?
He should be the new science dude. I think they're trying to do that with talking to him, like, you know, but it's like, you know, that needs to be consistent where we see Colin. Actually, it would be great to see each person learning about the timer. Like, it's just a tiny thing. My favorite moment with Quinn, which leans very hard into how you're describing him, was at the end where he describes like everybody with the sliding signature of the different worlds are going to be able to leave. So the Kromaggs are going to be able to, anybody who is slid here. And so then Remy says, what about Jules? And then Quinn says, fuck this shit. Yes. I can't switch this shit.
Yes.
Fucking Jules. Oh, he threw a fucking hissy fit. Like,
I hate him.
And then like Thomas was like, okay, Quinn.
That's right.
I'll stay here, right? Like,
yeah.
Quinn was like, he got pissed off. He was like, "Oh, fucking, this system is going to shut down." But he is a lot.
I hate him.
And so there's that. So the idea of the slide cage itself, I enjoy it because one of the things that we're getting with previous episodes and with this one, these two this week, is that this war was crazy, right? Yeah. Between the Kromaggs and the humans. So the fact that they were like, let's build a barrier, you know, so that people can't, the Kromaggs can't travel to our world, because it shows the extent to which they were willing to go. Mm-hmm. And I think that this episode plus the one, you know, we're going to get into that, does a very good job of showing that. And it's to the point that between the mention, the human refugees that we get, and then Thomas specifically telling his story, I wish that we just had a standalone episode where we saw the multiversal war, and whatever they call it, you know, for stuff like that. So I don't know, like the whole idea of the slide cage, like when you found out like what it was, what were your thoughts about that?
I was still confused about it because I assumed that all of the humans that were there were sliders, but it was like, no, we didn't even know they was building this. I'm like, well, this is a prison.
So it was like only at the time. That's what.
Brother, you are actually been in prison by your own people. And then this dumbass daddy talking about, over here, friends, I'm sorry if you're a friend. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. No, I did like it. I think it could have been executed a bit better. Yeah. I truly feel like they could have seeded in some of this before in previous episodes. I mean, they could have done that with a lot of stuff, but I do like that it was very dystopian. My only concern, though, is if Quinn is about 26, if Jules is what, like, did they say 21 or something, or 17? That was something like your parents died 16 years ago. He was taken when he was 2, so he would be 18.
He was like 18, probably.
If it's been that long, I think I'm kind of confused on the timeline. Also, the mechanics of it, because his dad was like, "Yeah, you're gonna get 5 square meals a day, and where's this shit coming from? It was
they had 73 levels. It was just filled with food,
which is like it's rotting. Also, when we go to the bathroom, where's this shit going? If you're a friend or foe, so you set this up knowing that friends could slide in and Kromaggs in the same space. Like that feels very irresponsible. I do like the idea of the slide cage. It felt like these could have been executed better. I was very perplexed. I was like, this Star Wars shit is crazy.
Well, and then like I will say, like I love the set, right? Because I think I've told you I'm personally getting tired of the same backlot, just like that don't look like any part of LA. And so when they do episodes like this, I'm like, okay, y'all are trying something different. And even, the world being so different that Remy was just like, he said, he's like, you sure we're not on another planet? And then Quinn was like, shut the fuck up, Remy. I already told you. And it was just like, yo.
Quinn is a dumbass, man.
I'm like, but Quinn, understand why he's asking this. You can't breathe outside. There are 2 moons hanging in the sky. I mean, if this is the time to ask that question. So I like this. I love the overall setting of that. The cat, the other folks, I think Luther was just a muscle. He just like I big muscle bound black guy who just said like what 2 sentences.
Yeah. You don't look like my friends. I'll kill you. What? Girl, move.
Janie was cool to me. Janie was like, I am not with the shits. That's the the leader of I love when she singled out Maggie to get killed. I was just like, yo. It's that whole sense of desperation, as far as with her. Any thoughts about her or Jules or I guess and even Thomas also?
No, I like Thomas. Once I found out about his PTSD and like the shit he went through, I was like, okay, this, give me this. I truly wish he could have been the one to save the day, or him and Jules like in concert with each other. Homegirl was. Forget about your friend. He's dead. I was like, girl, they literally they took him 1 minute ago. She's like, no, that motherfucker dead. You got to move on. I liked her. I liked that she was a little older. I don't know how old she is, but she did. This show could have easily made her 21 and so attractive to
Queen.
So I liked that she was like a little older. She wasn't, whatever. I liked her. She looked like she was like, look, I didn't been through some shit. We didn't took some motherfuckers down. I like her. I like Thomas. I really did like Jules. At one point I was like, oh, I feel like this is rushed, him helping Remy, but I was like, no, we don't have that much time. We have a lot of shit going on. Like they're going to quickly get from look at me, humans are bad, I'm deformed, let me help you. Like that's going. So I wasn't mad at that. But I will say I did appreciate the Jules character a little bit more than maybe some of the side characters in the past, where I do kind of want to see what happens with him, because there's a few things going on. The one we're going to get into in the next episode, but the Kromaggs, though villains, the way that they're being fleshed out more, because initially it was just like, these are Kromaggs, they're trying to kill us, that's it. But now we know that they've had sexual relations, romantic relations with humans, and you kidnapped this boy because after your son was killed. So like you have the capacity to have fondness for humans, and it's not saying a whole lot, because there are racist people who will sleep with somebody of a different race, and there are sexist people who can sleep with women but they can hate women still. But there's something to this where the Kromaggs, even started from when Maggie went on that like date but not date with the one Kromagg general, there's something there that I hope, but I don't have any, I doubt they will, but that I would hope that would be explored as the show goes on further. Because yes, they're villains, we hate them, but we've seen time and time again that they are beings that though have their own agenda, they have the same capacity for emotions that humans do. Even in this episode, we're all locked in here together, and we're all trying to get out. And if the Kromaggs were these beasts that we say they are, they should have slaughtered all them humans when we got into that cage to do the jump or whatever.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is they're not things. It's like survival of the fittest. It's like an alligator versus a snake, a dog versus, like, it feels like you're taking the human out of humans and Kromaggs and just making them animals in the animal kingdom. It's like a lion versus a tiger. We're both two big cats. But me as a human, of course, I'm rooting for the humans, but I'm also seeing that, whether intentionally or not, because I don't think it's on purpose, I'm seeing more humanity and more progression in the Kromaggs, even if that wasn't the intention.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just like media literacy, if I'm like projecting onto it or what, but again, kidnapping this boy, yeah, you brainwashed him to make him think he was like deformed, but also he is deformed in your eyes, because from your point of view, what's that Twilight Zone episode where the guy wakes up and everybody's pigs or something?
Yeah.
It's like that. We're like, yeah, he's deformed, so to speak, but you love him. You're punishing him, but you love this boy. So I don't know. That's my rant.
Well, that kind of ties into one of the things that I think it's 𝚂𝚘𝚏 says, is that humans hate anything that's not like them, right? So that, like you said, that ties into the general Kromagg that Maggie was hanging with, because there seem to be more, to him. These are definitely not the Kromaggs that we started off with.
At all.
Visually, visually or like development wise. The thing though that I will say is that less so in this episode is that I thought it was funny that he said that, because I, like, when he said that, I wrote down, like, I mean, he ain't far off the mark. Like humans be on some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is, that they are constantly modeled after a certain group, which I ain't gonna mention because I don't want us to get flagged or anything. So it's and especially with the next episode, with something that happens, right?
Yeah, Lord.
They are constantly modeling them after a certain group from World War II, to the actual history. So anyway, we're getting complex Kromaggs. We're also getting women Kromaggs. I don't know if you noticed in the background, like when they were all gathered, there were a couple of women on the side of the Kromaggs. They were, and this is, for me, this is the first time that I think I've seen a woman Kromagg. But the other thing was, 𝚂𝚘𝚏 mentioned something specifically about the breeding, or being able to have kids. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, so where are the women at? And then, like, the episode said watch, and then I saw it at the end, and they were just like two. It was a very brief shot, right? So I was like, okay, because that has just been a constant question that I've had, but they don't show the female Kromaggs much, if at all, before this episode. And I know I would have to like screenshot it to show you. But they were there. So it answers that mystery. I don't know if I'm trying to think if there's anything. Yeah, like I had a question here specifically. It was like, how do they reproduce? Because he says they were like and it's funny because he says something about this place prevents it, and it's like pregnancy amongst Kromaggs, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. So did Quinn's parents make the Kromaggs like infertile? And that's even crazier, right? I mean, if that's what they were going for.
But that's why I say that I'm understanding them a little bit more, because that would make Quinn's parents the villains, and I could see their mindset as well, because one, you built this prison, you imprisoned your homeworld people here, and then if the Kromaggs can't reproduce, I have to assume that the humans can't either. So you have just been like, this is some population control, eugenics type thing. Like, what y'all are evil. Y'all are the bad people. Yeah, the Kromaggs are evil. They're trying to take you out. Yes, but the length that you've gone, like,
it's basically
you
put you on that same level. No. I was just saying, just put someone on the same level.
And if you have this sort of technology to do all of this, one, why couldn't you keep your damn kids? And then two, come back and save these people. What are we doing? Y'all fucking suck. Like, oh God, yeah.
It's like, without remembering exactly where this, if they get to, getting to the home world and all that, if they get to the home world and everything is just pristine and beautiful, if I was Remy, I was like, okay, so there's a world called the Slidecage, and they were like, oh shit, we were supposed to do something about that, weren't we? Them's the breaks, right? Anything else like big that you wanted to talk about with this episode, or specifically?
No, the little biosignature thing kind of pissed me off because, like, girl, we've done this before. Why are you not accounting for other people? That Remy trying to kill him, and I did enjoy Jules and him like talking him down and all that, but honestly, I'm just tired of Remy being the great teacher of these Caucasian passengers. I'm tired of his stories beginning and ending with like, let me make your life better. That's it. That's it. That's it.
So with that said, let's go to the superlatives.
Lord.
For scenes, what's your favorite and least favorite scene?
Favorite, least favorite scene. My favorite scene is when Remy tried to kill Quinn. So I was like, yeah, that, you know what? We would all be better if this happens. So yeah, favorite scene is Remy killing Quinn. And my least favorite is when Jules stopped him. No, my least favorite. There's so many. Probably Quinn, when him and Colin were in the computer room, and it was like, woe is me. And Colin was like, look at all this stuff we can fix. He was like, I don't know. Exactly. Like, girl, get up. So yeah, Quinn being sad in that chair, like, ugh.
Had he taken off his shirt by then? Because
yes, he did. Another, like, girl, why is you and Maggie deserve each other? Put on some fucking clothes. Like,
everybody else is still dressed. Like the Kromaggs were dressed like they were cold.
Yes, that's what I'm like. But these are a lot of layers. Also, since you want to take your shirt off, I want Colin to take his off. He's taller than you, probably got a better chest. Yeah, let's take your shirt off.
So for me, favorite scene was Colin actually discussing dealing with death. How death could come with them. I felt that it was actually one of Colin's better moments since he's been introduced, or at least like of acting. And least favorite, I'm sorry, Jules. I like Jules, but when they first introduced him, I did not like him moving around trying to look different, where he was just like, so that didn't work as well for me. So as far as characters, who's your favorite and least favorite?
I'm really torn because I did like Jules a lot, and also X-Men. Like, when did the human? But whatever. I'm probably gonna go with Remy as my favorite, because this was a Remy-centric-ish episode. I did like the whole telepathy fighting back thing. I like that, and then he tried to kill Quinn, so like that's always good in my book. Remy is my fave. My least favorite. I'm wondering if I should just make it Quinn, because dang, I like Thomas too. I'll probably just go with Quinn, and that because even the Kromaggs, I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah,
like, y'all playing y'all part, like they kidnapping motherfuckers. So I got to go with Quinn, and even Quinn, I thought he was okay, but it got to be Quinn.
Gotcha. So for me, favorite character, I'm gonna go with Janie, the leader of the humans. She had kind of like a Captain Janeway vibe to her. And I hadn't even thought about it from the perspective of what you mentioned. Like they just didn't cast another 20-year-old to be like, I've dealt with a lot of shit at the age of 20, and least favorite, Luther. They did not give that brother much to say or do
at all,
aside from threatening people. So
that's it.
Out of 10 Jules mask, Phantom of the Opera mask, how would you rate this episode?
I'm torn there too, because I think this is a very important episode. I'm going to go 7.5.
Okay.
I would even lean close enough to an 8 because I do think stakes were valid here, but I'm gonna go 7.5.
Okay. So for me, I'm gonna go with the 8.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this one I thought was pretty good. So okay, so now we are moved on to Asylum and give a quick AI summary for this one. Do your work in Google. While give me 1 second. Take me a moment. Okay, there we go. This one is actually from the website. An injured Rembrandt falls in love with his doctor, who is eager to follow him because of her. Okay, that's horrible. This is the Sliders. While escaping a resource-ravaged world, the Sliders plane is hit by gunfire. Quinn is injured, and the explosion forcing the team to blindside into a new world to save his life. So yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, so let's just deal with the elephant in the room. Is good, and there is weirdness, associated with it. First of all, shout out to what is his name?
DD, Big DD.
Yeah, she's from Half and Half, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So one of the things that I always say is that Black geeks can appreciate stuff from all realms. Like, so we got like the Black shows, right? And then we can enjoy like Star Wars, Star Trek, every other thing. But then when we see somebody from like one of the Black shows, you're like, yeah. So yeah, but Dee from Half and Half, and her name is Valarie Pettiford. Still acting, still doing a lot of
family
stuff.
business. She on the family business right now. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, so the big thing with this world is that Remy links up with a doctor that takes care of Quinn, and falls for her. Falls in love with her. She seems to be reciprocating these feelings, and they have they have just a really good connection. I think they spend a couple days together, whatever. But the big reveal that comes out, through the course of the episode is that, and giving some background on this world, they go to a world where the Kromaggs and the humans fought on this world. We don't know if the humans fought along with Quinn's people, but it just sounds like they just fought, right? They fought a war. The Kromaggs were, pillaging the world of its resources. And then it sounds like the humans were able to fight them back. And to the point where they said parts of Europe and Asia are seen as desolate wastelands, right? And there apparently were human collaborators that they called Thatchers, who worked with the Kromaggs, and spoiler, the doctor is a collaborator. So this causes a problem because Remy has a history that he has with the Kromaggs. and it sours his relationship with this woman. So, and give your thoughts on just the relationship or him actually finding love after 4 seasons of the show.
It shit made me so mad. I was so pissed because again, Remy seems to only be useful when it's helping somebody else. Like everybody gets their and his Dr. Grace. I want to say Gracie. He seems to only be helpful, only useful when he's helping somebody else figure some shit out about themselves. We got the world with him finding his wife and son, and that they turn out to be evil assholes. Every time he gets, or we'll get him with a woman like the older white lady he was with in the gender bent world, where like she had her other boy toy, and then when we did get that black girl on the world with the truth collar, she was just dropping him off like, okay, we had a good time. It's like he can never, and then the suicide girl, he can never just have a story. Like even with the princess, he got pregnant for her, and his double, like, it's never just a straightforward look, fall in love. We get to do this shit with Quinn every fucking episode. I don't understand why. One, it makes no sense. Well, I'll say this. I do feel like black people can be evil. I feel like they can be villains. You can make them, they can be complex and do all these things. But the optics, you got to pay attention to that. When you don't have black women on this show at all, and then you get him with a very good romance. Like this was a phenomenal, like, oh, I like you, girl. You like me back. Like all that shit was great up until it wasn't. And I can appreciate that from a storytelling standpoint. But we're in 4 seasons now. I doubt we're going to get Remy with another woman and another black woman who's not going to like turn out to be a dragon or be fucking Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, or she's, Professor X in disguise. It's like everybody else can. Quinn has a kid running around out there. He gets to fall in love with these chicks every episode. He gets to have these little wonderful romances that get them into a bunch of fucking trouble. But Remy, who's part of the original 4, who over Colin and Colin had his own little love. I mean, that didn't end well, but he had his own little love story. Remy deserves to have this very good love story, and it shouldn't have to end in this weird way where it's like, yeah, black man, you can fall in love, but you ain't gonna stay in love. It really feels like and I don't think it's that much of a reach. It feels like he's good enough to be the sidekick. He's good enough to be the helpful, non-magical Negro, the comic relief, but he's not good enough to have a decent relationship even for 1 episode.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
My frustration with this is that we can't have him have a just a romance, right? Because they're not going to stay on these worlds, right? And it is that thing of like, I hate to put it like this, hit it and split it, right? That thing, right? I mean, that's what's happening. Unless you're staying on these worlds, that's what's happening. There's a way that you do it, right? So the thing that frustrates me is that because we haven't gotten any consistency when it comes to him in relationships just in general, and not specifically, I mean, like with black women, because they are so few and far between, but him with relationships in general, is that I think that you cut the legs out from under this episode of this kind of storyline that they're taking her on, because the thing is that I don't necessarily mind having a black antagonist, right? As long as they're written well, and then also, like you said, you look at this with the optics, and the thing is now because the optics have been, we can't have him with a sister who is not either gonna, I hate to put it like this, commit it was that self-harm or just drops him off or whatever. I think because you haven't done the work, you put in the work or whatever, it takes away from what I think could have been a tragic story, right?
Yeah.
I could have had some because the storyline, and this is something that's happened in real life, and that they're paralleling in our world is after World War II, the German scientists or the Germans who escaped, right, went to just escape to different parts of the world. And one of the areas that they went to was South America. So we have this history of I'm just going to keep saying the German hunters who were looking for, these people who had committed war crimes. So that is the role that she is in right now. And because I think that story could work, right? It gives this complexity, and then also, living in the world that we live in with some of the all skin folk and kinfolk, and I'll say that. So there is this opportunity for her to have actually played a role against type from what we normally see us in, right? It is a very because we never really get into what she was doing, but the thing is right. So that's one thing. So, but the biggest thing is like if you are associated in any way of Kromaggs, and also her admittance of what she says at the end, which I think is one of the better parts of this episode, or at least one of the better lines, where she says, "Tell me they tortured you. Tell me they killed your family. Tell me that you had no choice but to help them." And all she does is cry and she just shakes her head, right? So that's the thing. But like if you had put in the work in previous episodes to get like he's had stable relationships, let's say like half and half, right? 6, 7, I'm sorry. That you had, I'm sorry, I just started doing this with my hands. He had like let's say six relationships, right?
Yeah.
Between these 4 seasons. So 3 of them were good, 3 of them were bad. We get to this, I'm like, okay, this is a horrible one, right? But we've actually put in the work.
Yeah.
So that's what frustrates me, because I don't necessarily mind the big reveal that we have for her, as far as being who she is.
Yeah.
Because you got to think we're going to these worlds, and once again, skin folk and kinfolk, and culturally and socially, things are probably not going to go the same way that we have on the world, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my mind went, and I hate that, because that scene where they are in her house and he is playing, like he's like, I think this is an original song of Cleavant Derricks, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming, I think it is. And it's like when you listen to the lyrics, it's a beautiful moment, and because they are just like, they just look like just two, like an R&B like couple, like somebody just chilling, right, and having a good time. And Remy doesn't get that at fucking all.
Never.
So that's kind of like, that's I think we said this in a previous episode, but that's like 50% of my discussion for this episode, because
honestly,
I hate that they did not put in the work with him specifically to give him an episode, to give him this episode that I think could have been like his what was that the 4400 episode that we always come back to?
From the original series with Homeboy, the Dream World,
This could have been that. This could have been that for him, but it's not completely there. So, Quinn, he's knocked out for most of the episodes, so there ain't much to say about him. The opening sequence, I'll let you go into it. Yeah, I'll let you.
I hate sliders. First of all, we're in a plane. We've said this time and time again, and it pissed me off because I feel like they should have addressed it in the show. Why do we point this timer up in the sky when we're sliding? Why do we just point it at random fucking? Also, why didn't Maggie just open a fucking slide inside of the plane?
Yes.
Because when she pointed down, I'm like, okay, I can be a child in middle school, and I feel like I would understand that if the plane is moving,
you were not,
and you drop the slide here. If it's still moving, if we don't all jump out, we're gonna pass it. I was like, I get it, the theatrics of it all, but this is dumb. That whole scene pissed me. Then, this might be being a little bit nerdy, but when Remy was knocked out, and then she went and checked on him and was like, "Yeah, Colin, check on him," and then she went and checked on Quinn. She's like, "Yeah, Colin, get Quinn. Remy, get up." I was like, "Well, did he just also And he just got up. I was like, no, let's wait a minute. Like, and I assumed that Colin was going to grab Remy and Maggie was going to grab Queen, and we were going to both jump up. Now that I'm like, okay, that's interesting. No, it was just like, why he got to get up? Get this motherfucker. He's the science nigga. Oh my god, that opening sequence was so terrible to me.
Yeah,
I was very upset because I was like, logically speaking, even in the 90s, you have to know the movie Speed was out before this, so there's no way you don't know. You can't just jump out of a bus and be standing still. So you know you can't jump out of a plane and just go right into. I was so mad. I was very mad.
Because I assumed that they were just going to jump in from the air, and I'd forgotten that she pointed it outside. Yeah, it was bad. The opening was bad. They have this habit now of not just jumping into the world or sliding into the world. They show them on the world before. It's been like 2 or 3 minutes, and then go to the new place. But
I hate that.
Yeah, it wasn't. They could have cut the shit completely. We talked a little bit about the second world, the world that they went to. The only thing that I forgot to mention was, so apparently after the Kormagg human war ended, and the Kormaggs had taken all of the resources, California was like, fuck it, let's secede from the Union.
Crazy.
No. And so now Charlton Heston is the president of the president of California.
Yeah.
Resources, like I said, they don't have any gas, so people are wait a minute, why is the horse pulling the ambulance? And so they have people are riding around in horse-drawn buggies or automobiles, and everybody has a gun, because I think everybody has been not really recruited into, did they call it the militia for something it was like the so they've basically been recruited to fight on behalf of California versus the rest of the United States. So like when they get to the Sliders get to the main city, I think it's Van Nuys where they're at.
Yeah,
everybody has like an AK-47, and it is like I'm sorry, for me that's the scariest shit.
Yes.
Like I don't trust nobody with guns, but I don't trust nobody with guns that big.
Crazy.
It was like the games we run in the division. It's just like everybody got a gun. So
yeah, the
other difference for this world is that there's a lot of like cross-cultural things that are happening. And one of the examples they give is that there's a restaurant which is a fusion Japanese and Mexican food place, which I don't know, the food sounds good to me. But so that's kind of this world. Any thoughts about California being the one that secedes from the Union rather than the South, or just like how, or the world in general?
It was interesting. I felt like this episode wanted to say Texas, but we keep landing in California, so you couldn't say Texas. I thought it was cool. This was the most American episode we've ever seen. With all those, because I think there was a news report that was like, such and such county, the governor has allowed them to not carry guns if they don't want to. And I was like, what the fuck? This was so American. Even when they were like, Remy was packing. First of all, Remy came in there with that duffel bag full of guns. I was like, man, they took her. And then Colin was like, all right. Like, it was so, he was like, yeah, I didn't even have to show no ID. Yeah, you're in America. You might be on another planet, or another world, but you're in America. I truly enjoyed this because it was so fucking absurd. You had somebody like in a dashiki. You had what was Maggie in that like early 2000s cultural appropriation Gwen Stefani, Nicki Minaj Asian outfit. I was like, girl, where are we? Because it was just like, take every traditional garb of any country and just like a job. I was like, man, this shit is crazy.
So in my mind, I'm like, so why is California the place where everybody is coming to from across the world?
That makes no sense at all.
I think the suggestion maybe is because Europe and Asia have been like so fucked up, but it's just like, yeah, like I don't know. That's the headcanon I'm going with, but yeah,
I'm with it. There was no racism.
She was dressed like Chun-Li.
Yes, I was like, girl,
in that scene with Raul Julia, where he was, and in my mind, I'm like, why? So between leaving the hospital where Quinn was and going to the hotel, you went out and got like the most finest outfit.
Like, and hair was done. There's no continuity, and I hate that about this show. There's no continuity, like clothing for one. Because in the last episode, Quinn was like, "Oh, I never thought I'd miss your bright shirts," or so. I was like, "Girl, shut the fuck up, y'all." There's no reason why. Colin is wearing this damn Riverdale ass preppy outfit. Remy got this fucking bowling shirt, and then you got this fucking Asian exploitation ass outfit on. It was so weird. I'm like, y'all, the outfits don't match the stakes. It's like, oh, we just got chased by alligators, and now I'm in these stilettos. Girl, what are we doing? I hate it. I hate it.
And the scene where he did run in with the bag with the guns, Colin, I think, did he look at the gun? He was just like,
yes. He was like, well,
it's like, I guess we're about to kill.
Yes.
Man, and like Remy was like, I don't need no explanation. Let's just ride for my woman, right? So, this I think like so there's a part where in my notes I said Colin crashing out seemed pretty all right. And I think it's when they're at the hotel one of the first few times, and like Colin, they're trying to get a game plan, and Colin just like loses it, right? And this ties into what we were saying in the first episode. He is new to this, and he is acting appropriately to because that's when they had the discussion about like, well, we may need to leave him here, you know, and he is just like, and I think this is probably the first time that they've kind of like he's had to deal with the fact that like you know, not just being trapped there, you know, because of the Slidecage, but because of like, well, one of us is hurt. But yeah, like when he lost his shit, I was just like, hey, do what you do. But and then he gave him a gun. Any thoughts about Maggie or Colin, you know, for this one?
Well, good. Maggie, I don't care. If I was Rembrandt, I still would have. Me and her would have to fight. We both government officials. I know they took her. I told him I'd have hit her. I'd have hit her right away. Like, you can explain later, but I'm hitting you. What are you talking about? You said the only woman I've loved. You sent the people after her. I do like kind of with Maggie's storyline. I do like that this episode they did trick me. I assumed that the three German guys were the Thatchers or whatever. I was like, oh, he's playing her. He's about to kill Maggie. So I can appreciate that for sure. I like Colin. I thought he was cool. Crash out warranted. Please have more of that. Maggie, I like that she was kind of spearheading a lot of this episode.
She was a leader.
I even like her with the gun and the passports. Because I feel like you gave her something to do, and her stomach wasn't all out. I mean, her legs was exposed, but she felt okay. I was okay with her. Yeah, I was okay with her. And her bang.
I liked her as the leader. I don't know if I would have swung on her. I would have it would have been like I would have had words, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is that hopefully Remy trusts her enough to be like, okay. Like, you know, he was like, I serenaded that woman. What the fuck? You know, that type of shit. Like, you know, if he had said something like that, but I think that it was good that Quinn was taken off the board.
Thank God.
This one. Yeah. And it was in like the most horrible way possible. Like, because he took that explosion to the face.
As he
like,
should.
Yeah, and
more of that.
There's I can't remember this. There's a movie with this the lady who played Hit Girl, where she's and it's set during World War II, and she's on a plane. She's on a plane with these soldiers, and there's a monster attacking the like a gremlin,
Okay.
but they're still flying through like Germany occupied space, and it's like it's a
Okay.
horror movie. So like when I saw the explosion, it just kind of reminded me of the fact of that movie. Really good movie. I can't remember what the name of it. Hopefully by next episode. But yeah, Dr. What's her name? Grace. Is
Grace,
it Venable?
Yeah.
Yeah, Venable. We talked about her a bit. In the, like you said, the agents who captured her. I didn't really have much to say. I think his name is Thorsten K.
That's all right.
Yeah, it just you just have it's just like misdirection basically. I'm trying to think of but yeah, like I said, seeing two black leads in the sci-fi episode was probably one of my favorite things about the episode. Minus the what we were talking about before. Why didn't Remy tell her about sliding?
This is what gets on my nerves about these motherfuckers. There was no reason to do that.
Right.
There was no at that point in time. Now, when she was like, "Oh, I could probably help your friend," then I'm like, "Okay," because whatever you got going on, you might need to know he not from here. But like up until that point, I'm like, y'all motherfuckers share this secret way too quickly, and y'all never keep up with the timer. So like, for somebody who's scared of being stuck somewhere for 29 years, you actually aren't afraid of that.
Yeah, when he said, I rolled my eyes. I was like, eventually it was going to happen, right?
Yeah,
but it just felt wrong. And so and I don't know if Wade is just them not mentioning her anymore. We're like halfway through the season right now, and so when Remy says, "I don't know why we're sliding anymore," we've been sliding into too many worlds, and I was just like, "Wait a minute, you have to." I'm sorry, say what you was about to say.
No, that shit pissed me off. I don't. What that
you are sliding to get to their home world so you can get something to fight the Kromaggs or this weapon, and then also to get Wade. It's just
like, we've established that. We've said that. That's the whole reason we're still sliding. What are we? Oh,
I was like, is this their excuse to be like, well, we just don't need to talk about Wade anymore? But they did talk about Wade in the professor in this episode. So, oh my god,
so stupid.
I don't know. What else? Anything else about the episode stands out to you, or
well, yeah, that the Kromaggs are teaching humans powers because Jules has telekinesis, and Grace has a healing ability.
That was it.
Like, what is this leading up to? I feel like the show's gonna do nothing with it, but like you're giving these humans powers. Like even that to me is like the evolution of human of standing upright is one thing, sure, but the Kromaggs have surpassed us in that way that they are teaching mutant powers. Like, are we not gonna? And then when she was like, "Yeah, I can help your friend," I'm thinking she's gonna like go in his brain like the last episode. No, she's quite literally healing us. I'm like, but you are a doctor. This hospital should be
right.
I was like, this should be the #1 hospital in Van Nuys. How are you? Oh, well, there's not much I can do. Actually, there's a lot you can do. Man.
The thing, that's what I love. Actually, that's what you just reminded me. I love how at the end, when they rolled up on the horse and buggy with the guns, like they were holding those guns like I would hold the gun. And they rolled up, and then Maggie was like, put the guns down, and then Remy said, "Hey, can you help my friend?" She said, "What the fuck do I get out of it?"
Right. Sis, you're going to jail.
Like, they're about to take you overseas. We don't know if they practice capital punishment or what. I don't know. But when she said that, I was like cold blooded. And But yeah, it was wild. I think that's all I got for this. If
much more than that. No, hold on. Quinn, dumbass, waking up talking. Oh, guys, what did I miss? I was like, ugh, go back to sleep. I was so mad, and I can't even really be mad at him because it's not his fault. It was just like, this episode has been somber for 42 minutes, and he's like, oh, what's going on, guys? Sit your dumbass down.
Well, I mean, and the thing is, it's like, you're not reading the room.
That's what I'm saying. You're dumb. And the fact that Connor was like, hey, man, let me talk to you outside. Like, right. He's like, it's nothing good. Like, what do you woke up and we're all sad. Like, what? Everybody is sad in this room. Why are you not? He's an idiot, man. I hate him, bro. I hate him.
I think he was like washing his hands and he was talking shit.
And then Maggie was kissing everybody. I'm like, what are we doing? She kissed Remy in the mouth. I was like,
did she? Okay, I thought
it wasn't like a romantic. It was like you kiss your auntie or something. But I was like, why are you kissing him on his forehead, his cheek? You won't let him kiss nobody else, but she could kiss him on the mouth with his broken neck. Oh, this episode was weird, bro. Oh my god!
And then the Amish guy pulled the gun on Colin. It's just like he was like, "Oh, get the fuck back!"
What the fuck are we doing? Oh man, that was great. Yeah,
yeah. So out of okay, so superlatives. What's your favorite and least favorite scene?
Favorite scene, honestly, the whole date of Remy and Gail. I gotta do Remy and Gloria. Wait a minute, what's his lady name? Jermina? What? Jermina?
No,
Grace, yeah.
Doctor
Remy and Grace.
Well, you know, actually, she has her actual name is Dr. Helen Donovan.
Yeah.
So,
every time they get a black woman in STEM, she turn evil. What's up with that? Remember,
this is the second time this happened.
Yeah. Good Lord. We're not safe from black women in STEM on other worlds? What the hell? But no, their whole interaction, because it just felt, because I truly feel like you can pull that out of this episode and it'd be a nice little short film.
Yeah.
Just take out mention of sliding, and it's like, oh, look at this cute couple. So that was my favorite, the whole date. Least favorite was Quinn waking up. Ugh, God, he just stay asleep, and I truly mean that. Quinn waking up, like everything is not about you. Ugh, ugly. I don't know that opening though. Maggie shooting at time. Yeah, over Quinn waking up was her shooting at the portal outside the plane. That trumps Quinn waking up. Yeah, the opening. Shit.
So for me, my favorite is at the end, the final scene between Remy and the doctor. Like I said, where he says, "Tell me they tortured you," and that line, and she's like, "No, I did that shit." It's just a bad moment. Least favorite, we laughed about it at length. Quinn making a joke as he came out the bathroom. What happened, guys? You just hear the laugh track in the background, like he's fucking Kramer.
So, bro. Oh man.
And characters, who's your favorite and least favorite?
This is hard. I think I'm going to go with Grace. Because that's my favorite, because I don't know what she was up to. Like, I don't know if she was like escaping through the slide, or it's like to do the will of the Kromaggs, or if it was like, I need to get the fuck up out of here. Like, that, and also with her healing powers, I feel like I'm not upset that she did that. And I also don't feel like I truly am like, girl, you're a doctor, heal these people. But I'm also like, it wasn't a crutch. It wasn't like, let me touch you and heal you. Like I liked her character overall. But she did help the Chrome. Whatever. I don't care. I'm stick with her. My least favorite, try not to go with Quinn. My least favorite is Grace, also for waking up Quinn. No, I'm gonna go with Quinn still. I'm still go with Quinn. I don't care.
Okay.
You goofy. Goofy.
So for me, favorite character, I'm gonna go with Remy.
Okay.
Least favorite, I didn't have one, mainly because Quinn was asleep for most of it, and when he did wake up, he gave me one of the moments I could not stop laughing.
He's so ugly. I can't stand him, bro.
My God, read the fucking room, Quinn. Remy staring outside, his emotions hurt. Maggie standing by him.
It was like Quinn is selfish, man.
Quinn is like, "We're gonna get a pizza."
Like, I ain't saying nothing about paying a hospital bill. He's
that was another question of mine. Are they about to just rush out of this?
I mean, I guess because this was such a weird ending. This was so, and also Grace was like, "Hey, take me out the back. I know how to get out of here." That's why I expected her to fight that German dude or whatever he was. I expected her to fight back because if you can heal people, they can shoot you as long as you get away. You can heal yourself. Man, right. I was thinking too deep into this episode, bro.
Grace becomes a slider herself. She just finds the technology.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, so out of shit, I can't. You know what? Actually, no. Out of 10 of those Japanese, Mexican tacos, burritos that he was eating at the library,
like,
what would you rate this episode?
Honestly, I had fun with this one. I hesitate to, but I'm gonna give this one a 9. I really enjoyed this episode. No, because like it was so serious. It was great for Remy, and then Quinn. I hate him, but that ending really felt good. And I think this is probably the closest that we're going to get to like a. I'm gonna just stick with a 9 before I change my mind. I'm sticking with a 9. I'm gonna just stick with it. Yeah.
Okay. So for this one, I'm just gonna go 8.5. I think that if we had gotten better relationships or more well-developed relationships for him previous to this, it would have made this one, like a little bit more okay to go with as far as like the direction that they took this Black woman. And not even for that, but more so for that's a large part of it. But the other thing is it would have helped to have given him more of a fleshed out. This doesn't seem earned with the relationships they've given him before. So
right.
So as far as like going left the way that it did. So 8.5. Otherwise, this would have been a 9 or a 10.
Yeah,
to be honest with you. But yeah. So that's it. We are halfway through the season, and I guess I can make our announcement here today. Yeah. So for today, this will be we're going to take a break. Because we are halfway through the season. There are 22 episodes in season 4. And like we always do, we always just kind of stop at this, especially now that we're pairing the episodes up. And, so this is just the best place to stop. So we are going to be on break for about a month. And probably we'll do the math. But like a month from this day, we'll be back either that week or the week following. And we will start with episode 11 and just kind of go through to the 22nd episode. So so just play catch up, spread the word to other Sliders fans, check out the previous seasons, and at the end of each season we actually do a season wrap up. And in the first season, we even did did we do like a Black History Month?
I think we did, because the way it fell, it was I think we did.
Yeah, we did like a Black History Month thing. So there's content. There's content for days out there, and and the show's on Tubi now, so you don't have to watch it on Peacock. Just go on Tubi and then listen to our reviews. So.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, yeah, y'all, make sure to tune in. Like Robert said, check out the previous episodes. Enjoy this hiatus, decompress, and come back with more thought. Actually, watch ahead so you can already kind of know what's what. I'm not going to, because I need to do it for the episode. But yeah, watch ahead if you haven't already, and see what's coming, so you can speculate what's going to be said on the next episode.
So, man. One thing I just realized. The 𝚂𝚘𝚎 comic comes out tomorrow.
Yes. So if it comes out tomorrow, it would have come out yesterday, because this episode's going up Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, y'all. So the link in the show notes. Make sure to check it out. Get your 𝚂𝚘𝚎 on. And Robert, do you think?
Yep. August 18th. Well, it's like I need to do better with promoting this stuff, but yeah. Comic book stores, bookstores, Amazon, any place. I think it's also available on BarnesandNoble.com. But anywhere you can buy books or comics, you go and pick up the Outlaw Sherry Lee #1, Outlaw Sherry Lee #1, story by 𝚂𝚘𝚎, original story by 𝚂𝚘𝚎, Grammy Award-winning country artist, and Xavier Ennis, and adapted into comic book form by yours truly. And with artwork by Sean Damian Hill of Route 3 fame, of Marvel Comics, DC Comics. The man is busy. We have an excellent team. But yeah, go out and pick up a copy. Let us know what you think. It's a Western. It's a gritty Western, I'll just put it like that. So yeah. I am excited for people to check it out.
Good. Same excited. So yeah, check that out. Link in the show notes. There's an episode that I recorded that was supposed to be in reference to something from season 3 of Sliders that's just been sitting there. So I might try to hurry up and release that too, since we're on a hiatus. So y'all, if you see a video from me and it's like dated, and it's like, yeah, me and Robert talked about this on season 2, episode 5, disregard that and just watch it. Goddamn it. Sherry Lee, and then that's it. I write novels. It'll be in the show notes too. And I don't know, y'all. Check this shit out. Yeah. So there's that. Robert, let these people know where they can find you in the meantime, in between time.
Yeah. So the website is robertkjeffrey.com, robertkjeffrey.com. Instagram is robertk.jeffrey, robertk.jeffrey. And those are the 2 best places to reach me or to follow me.
Yes, indeed. Raincomer.com. There's a bunch of books, novels, contemporary, romance, love story, coming of age, all that good stuff. And then social media. Man, just come back to this show. Come back to this YouTube, to this podcast, and go from there. But the links will be in the show notes, so make sure to check us out. Big us up in this month hiatus, and stay carefree, nerdy, geeky, and if you're gonna slide, don't slide inside the airplane. Don't jump out the airplane.
Right.
Parachute or not, slide inside. We've slid a whole van through a sliding portal. We can slide inside of this airplane. Shit. All right, y'all. Man.